And it's Lisa Chero J from Tech Tutoring with Lisa, live on Facebook for the first time in a while. So I'm going to just try to get here on my phone as well so that I can see any questions that pop up as we go. And I'm just making sure I'm doing it properly. Yeah, okay. Give me 1 second here. And if you're here, I want you to say hi. Tell me where you're from. Unfortunately, with my screen sharing here, it doesn't let me show my face at the same time um, as I share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to just turn off my sound on my phone. Okay, and I can see I have Sabina watching with me. Hi, Sabina. Okay, and now I have my phone open so I can see who's watching with me and who's commenting if you have any questions, although there might be a little bit of a delay. So just a heads up about that. Okay, so I'm going to get started in a second. Just to let everybody know what I'm going to be talking about today, I'm going to be doing a demo about Google Drive, Google Calendar, and Google Keep. And these are a few of my favorite Google apps that I use all the time. I would say pretty much every single day. Um, Google Drive is amazing for keeping my files in the cloud. So what that means is I can access these files from anywhere on any device as long as I log in. I love it. It keeps me super organized, especially using the different Google Drives for all my different accounts that I have. Helps me keep organized for my work, helps me keep organized for my personal stuff, all my volunteer work. Ugh, Google Drive is amazing. I really, really love it. Hi, Tammy. Um, so I really, really enjoy Google Drive. So I'm going to give you a little demo here of how we can use Google Drive and how we could organize our information. So it's very much like organizing your files on your desktop. So what you can do is make folders, and you can make with folders within folders within folders, and it just helps you very organized. And you can even color code these folders if you wanted to. So the way you make a new folder, there's a few different ways, but the easiest way to see is going to the new button and clicking on folder. And then it gives you your option to make your title. So I'm going to just call it example for now. And I'm pressing enter, but you can also press create. Okay, and then you can even move your folders within folders by just clicking and dragging on them. And the same goes for how you move your files. So you can click on your files and move them into your folders. But that's a little slow. You might also want to select multiple files. So you can do that by pressing Control and then clicking on all the files that you want to move at the same time. And then clicking and dragging and letting go. And let's say I did this by mistake. I'm going to do undo. I did Control Z, but there's also the option to click there at the bottom on the little undo button. However, that does disappear. And there's other options of how to select large amounts of files at the same time. You can click on the first one, use your Shift key, and then your arrow keys to select, and even pressing down. And then again, you can click and drag, or you could right click and move to, and then it can go wherever you want. And you can use all of these to put them in whatever folder you want. Okay, so there's lots of ways to do the same thing on Google Drive, and it's really amazing. There's so much you can do. Other people can share files with you, and you'll see them in there. You can make other people collaborators with you on these folders so that they can have the same access as you, so that they could, also give in their files and you can access their files. Um, and if you need help with adding collaborators or sharing files, I want you to reach out to me because it's really helpful. It makes things so much faster when you're sharing work with somebody instead of emailing something back and forth. You just go to the file that you're working on and you can see all the updates. It's really handy. There's so much you could do. I could talk about Google Drive for another like 20 minutes if given the opportunity, but I only have a limited amount of time here. So if there's any questions about Google Drive, I'm looking at the chat now. If you want to ask me a question about Google Drive before I move on to anything else. There's some really cool things you could do. You could even change the view. This is, right now I'm in grid view. This would be to change to list view. Some people like that better. Personally, I prefer the grid view so I could see a visual preview of everything. I really like that. Okay, so I'm just not seeing any questions for Google Drive, so I'm going to go on to Google Calendar. So Google Calendar also, oh my God, so essential for keeping me organized for everything. I use it for everything. So you can even access it right on this screen in even a few different ways. The first way that I'm seeing is by using the quick access side panel. So that's this part here. This is the quick access side panel. And I can just simply click on calendar icon here, and it brings me up to today. And I could change the view. I could see the date here. I could change the day. I could even pop it out. I can click here, open a new tab, and it would open out into a new tab here. I have this one open just because I have all my stuff hidden by just clicking off of these. So it's so amazing to keep me organized. So it's so easy to create a new event. All you need to do is click wherever you want to make that event. So let's say I want to make something for 4 o'clock tonight, or this afternoon, I mean. I just click, it brings it up. I add the title. So let's say dinner at parents' house. Okay. And then I can change it from here. So let's say, oh, you know what, that was a little early for dinner. Maybe I meant 5 o'clock. So I can even just click there and scroll down. I meant 6. Or I could even just use my keyboard. So here, let's say 7 p.m. And I could just type it in. Or I could use the preview of what comes up and then click. And then I can change, excuse me, my end time. You could do so much in here. That's okay, Sabina. I see your message. It's all going to be saved. You can come back and watch anytime. So here's the end time. You can make it a repeated event. This one says, so it automatically doesn't repeat, but you can make it a repeated event daily or weekly on Friday, which is probably what I would do since we go to my parents' house every Friday. So you can make it a repeated event. You could find a time if you're inviting guests and you see their schedule. You could click there and access their schedules if they've got that option set up. You could add guests here, so just by typing in their name. So I'll just invite myself for now. And see how even the find a time to meet pops up. I click find a time to easily compare schedules and find a free time for all guests. How cool is that? And let's say you want to make it a video conference instead of, actually going over to the parents' house. You could click join with Google Meet. It looks like mine's setting it up automatically right now, but you can also take that off. You can also just click off of here to remove it. Okay, you can add a location very easily. And there's even more options here. So it's very cool. You can add notifications. I have my settings set up that I have a default notification for an hour in advance and 10 minutes in advance. And you do that in the settings of your Google Calendar. And you can set up any custom notification in the settings for every single event. And then you can always add your own custom notification specifically for a different event anytime you want. So any option, 45 minutes. So, and you can do by hours, days, weeks, minutes. It's really cool. So, and you can also just remove notifications by clicking on the X too. So you can add a description. Whenever you make it a Zoom meeting, the Zoom meeting link would go here in the description. Oh, amazing trick. If you are booking Zoom meetings often, I love using the Zoom scheduler Google Chrome extension to make things a Zoom meeting. So that's why I'm getting the option. Oops, I should be getting the option to make, yeah, here it is, sorry. Make it a Zoom meeting. So I have this option to make it a Zoom meeting because of this Google extension here, Zoom Scheduler. Okay, and now I'm going to save. And then it gives me the option of whether or not I want to send an invitation email to Google Calendar guests. So I'm not going to send it because I'm just sending it to my personal. So I'm going to say do not send. Okay, I see there might be a question. Sarah, is there a way to embed a poll in the event? For example, to get dinner orders for a scheduled family dinner. I wish that'd be very cool. However, what I'm thinking you could do as a workaround. So there's no built-in polling option. That's a really fantastic question. But what my workaround would be is to make a Google form and then just put it in the description of the event when you're inviting people to your calendar event. That way they would see the Google form and you would say, hey, fill out this Google form for a chance to tell me what you want for dinner tonight or something like that. That way it would be right there. I'll show you in an event already made. So it would be down here in the description. So I don't have anything in the description right now. So here I could also edit the event and say, see the Google form for, blah, 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 blah. And then you would put the link to the Google form. Excuse me. I don't have time with my 10 minutes here to do that. So I'm going to just keep going. So then you would save. I'm going to just say for this event, but you could see if it's a recurring event, you could change for all the following events as well. And I'm not going to send it. So now we'll see in the description, oops, sorry, clicked on the wrong spot. Here's the description, see the Google form for blah, blah, blah. And there would be a link, right? So if you put your link, it would be popping up in blue and be more obvious for people to click. So I hope that helps, Sarah. And I'm running out of time, so I just want to show you one last thing, which is Google Keep. So Google Keep, actually both Google Keep and Google Calendar do not save in your drive. So your drive is used for everything else, is your Google Forms, your pictures, your videos, your spreadsheets, your docs, obviously. But your calendar is its own thing and Google Keep is its own thing. So going back to this quick access side panel, you can always access Google Keep here. But it's its own thing. You could use it on your phone. It's its own app. It's amazing. So I'm going to just use this example here of a pinned post. And then I'll show you here. So you could see how it works on this quick access side panel. I'm going to just show you how I'm going to click something and then I'm going to just bring it back. But I'm going to show you how it works more in depth here. I'm going to open it in a new tab so you can see it bigger. Okay. Ooh, and you can even see dark theme is here. So you could turn on dark theme, which is going to make my screen black, or it should in a second. There you go. And then, so I'm just going to click into my post here so you can see it a little better. So, actually, I feel like the dark theme might be a little hard to see for you guys. Okay, I don't have time to fix it right now. So just a little thing of how it works. You honestly just type your text. Anything you want, you just type it, blah, blah, blah. It saves automatically. You need to press enter to make a new checkbox. And you can swipe right if you're on your phone, or you could use your mouse to do it to indent. Or I believe maybe the tab button works too. No, I take it back with tab, not here. And you can only do it once. It doesn't go further than this. It only indents once. And you can have collaborators. You could use labels here to organize your stuff. And you can even use the plus sign. Where are we? It was at least on my phone. To add images, drawings, audio recordings. You can do so much more even. I don't have time to get into all of it, but it's one of my favorite tools. I use it for grocery lists all the time. I share the list with my husband so he can put his own stuff on the list. I check it off right at the grocery store, or he does, and I could see it in real time. I could color code these so I can change the color here if I wanted to. Oh my gosh, there's so much you can do on Google Keep. I use it as a to-do list every day. I make a to-do list, and I personally love checking things off when I'm done. And I can even make copies of a to-do list or anything on Google Keep. You can archive them if you don't want to have the clutter. There's so much you can do. I'm a huge fan of all of these Google apps. Google Keep, Google Calendar, and Google Drive are just three of my highest use ones. These are the ones I think I use them every single day, multiple times a day. So if you have any more questions, feel free to write them in the chat here. If you want to book a session about any of these Google apps, please feel free to reach out to me anyway. Facebook, you can you can email me at TechTutoringWithLisa@gmail.com. I'm seeing a question here. Do I do tutoring sessions just on Google Keep? I can do tutoring sessions on anything you want. So if you see an app that you find interesting and that you need some help on, for example, Google Keep, 100%. We could do a session on that. Google Drive could do so much with the collaborators and just using all the integrated Google tools with Google Drive is amazing. I could do an hour session on any of these things. So please reach out to me about anything you want. They're all amazing tools. I'm a huge advocator for using these tools. I love them. Anyway, I should go. I'm over my time. So everyone, I hope you have an amazing day. You won't see us until Sunday again. So Shabbat Shalom. Bye, everyone.